A third of teenage girls say they're not smart enough to pursue a career in science, according to new research. A campaign prompted by the figures from polling agency YouGov is being launched to provide 11 to 16-year-old girls with female role models working in the industry. Talking of which, scientists Jenny Griffiths and Florence Adepoju both join me now. Very pleased to have you with us on London Live News this morning. Florence, how do you hope that your experiences will help change perceptions?
I think coming from the beauty industry, being part of EDF Energy's Pretty Curious campaign is just really cool to show girls that you can be a scientist in any industry. It's not always the more traditional roles that you're presented to whilst in education, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing that I can do.
How does science play a part in what you do?
So basically the basis of any kind of cosmetics formulation is science, predominantly chemistry, and there's a lot of maths involved in putting a formulation together. And so I run a business where I hand make lipsticks, and every aspect of that, from the ingredient selection to testing to the ingredients, is just all basically based on biology, chemistry, maths.
And Jenny, how much do you hope your experiences will help make a difference with these young girls?
I'm hoping I can make a big difference. I studied computer science at university, so graduated as a kind of software engineer, but I think about 2–3% of our course were female. And it's one of those things where it strikes you there's no real reason why that should be the case. It's just kind of stereotypes built up over years, and it's great that companies like EDF Energy, other companies as well, are kind of doing a bit more to try and get women like us into science, and then also get the few of us who have kind of stuck it out to be there as role models for people growing up today.
Talking of which, how much do you hope that, or how much do you think, I should say, that a lack of female role models is at the crux of this problem?
I think it makes a huge difference. I was quite late into my education, I think, when I chose my degree, cosmetic science. And I think that if I knew more female cosmetic scientists, perhaps I would have made that decision a bit earlier. And being with EDF and doing their workshops, I can kind of see how the girls react to seeing other women that they deem to be in cool scientific positions and how that makes them feel and helps them aspire towards it as well.
Jenny, how do you hope this campaign will make a difference with 11 to 16-year-olds?
I think it'll make a real difference because I'm not sure about you, Florence, but people kind of look at what I'm doing with running Snap Fashion and they go, I'm really brave. And I think that's quite a strange perception of people think that women going into engineering and kind of pioneering in that area are kind of considered brave. So what we're trying to do with the kind of EDF Energy Pretty Curious campaign is to show that it's normal for science to be interesting to girls and that it is actually a valid career path. So I'm hoping that just being able to shine a spotlight through kind of me, Florence, Liz Bonin's work as well, just show that you can have a fun and creative career in science and that it doesn't just have to be sitting behind a computer every day.
Do you find that when you meet, talking of that perception, when you meet young girls, there is a kind of idea of what a career in science perhaps is, and in reality that doesn't perhaps match what you both do?
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of girls feel that they're not clever enough for science, which I think is just really absurd because obviously girls tend to get higher grades than boys sometimes in these subjects. And I think media kind of sometimes shows a perception of this really nerdy looking guy working in a lab, making explosives, and that's not really accurate.